I'm super excited today.
More cowbell. Right on.
Her voice could punch you in the face. I love this one.
Jive turkey.
Who are you calling Jive Turkey?
You.
Hi guys, this is Play It Again. I'm Ginger.
And I'm Mike. And got a comment the other day on our Intruder video reaction from Gary Numan. Morning Coffee Cat. He, she, it, they. I don't know. Sorry, Morning Coffee Cat. It's a gender neutral handle. Left a comment saying that they'd done a mix of Gary Numan songs from the earliest days.
1979 to 2021. So
right?
since we've discussed several times through our Gary Numan videos about how we had this huge gap between like Cars and then when we discovered him again,
It was Intruder,
yeah.
Yep.
And how we'd missed everything in between. It almost seemed like completely meant to be that Morning Coffee Cat had created a compilation that sort of filled that gap a little, I guess, with the noteworthy songs. So
we're about to catch up on about 40 years worth of missed Gary Numan. So
it's true.
I think this is about an 18-minute video or something like that. So it's going to take us a little while. Yeah,
it's going to be a little bit longer than our normal videos, guys, but I think it's going to be worth it. And I'm glad that it's only little snippets of the songs. His comment says it's like a minute and a bit of each song.
Mm-hmm.
So if we catch one or two that we really, really like, we can cherry pick it out to still do a reaction.
I like your thinking.
Yeah, right?
And maybe we'll pause after the odd one here and there to throw some commentary, and we'll see how it goes.
Oh, I'm in control of the
You're
mouse.
in control. You got the mouse.
You'll have to let me know.
All the way over there.
Okay, ready? You ready for the ride?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this one I know.
Right?
How young he looks. Oh my god.
Does it hit a little differently now?
Yeah. I have a better appreciation for it now than I used to, for sure. I have a more appreciation for this one right now, but I will still say one of my favorite things about the Gary Numan songs we've discovered that are newer is that he's made that synth a lot fuzzier,
darker,
and more menacing sounding, and it's a lot better. Like, this is good, right? But I really like the stuff that's a lot more dark sounding. So there's that.
I'm picturing Trent Reznor with it.
Right, I can't hear the song without picturing Trent Reznor playing this tambourine now. That dude on the drums looked like Gene Simmons.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. This one sounds of its era.
That was amazing future tech at the time, though, 1979.
Right? Does that dude look like Gene Simmons?
I see where you're getting at.
It's so spacey.
Makes me think of Ultravox a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah, they use the violin a fair bit.
same. And they're sure to forget, saying everyone lies.
Ooh, I like that violin line.
Melody sounds familiar to me.
Does it?
Yeah. Trying to think from where.
We haven't even left 1979 yet.
It was a big year for Gary.
We're in the building where they make us grow, and I'm frightened by the liquid engineers like you. My battery heart is sure to fail. I could crawl around the floor just like a real, like you. The sound of metal, or what the pain, you.
Ooh, I like that.
Oh, I could learn to be a man like you.
But I'm not a man.
Come on, you're the man.
Plug me in and turn me on. Oh, everything is moving.
Ooh, watch out! Step back! Ooh, I like the sound of this one. Reminds me of somebody from that era.
Yeah.
It'll come to me later.
We are young, we can break what's just on. We can take some train down to the sea. We are glass. We are glass. We are real. You can touch us for now. When they say, hey, you, which way is down? We are glass.
That piano makes me think of Ultravox too.
Really?
Yeah.
You know a lot of that, eh?
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I knew was Cars, and that didn't really make me think that. So, it's interesting to me to discover so much of it.
I like this part. But I don't want to die.
Right? He's in his car.
Funny, all these songs way back that use traditional instruments, and like most of his newer stuff that we've heard doesn't really do that, does it? Like the piano, the violin.
That's true.
This is not love. This is not even what the point of you. An echo bug time. Pose for a victim with, but who are you? All out
I will say, early Gary Numan is way cooler than I appreciated when I was 8 and 9 years old.
It's true.
I really had no idea.
It's true. Ooh. Oh wow, that's a saxophone.
Right? Okay. I was not expecting this.
You are a distraction, like pictures on the wall. I don't like guys. You are attraction, it gets my favorite too. You're up by and down. She's close, she's close, she's close.
Does she ever? Don't eat the birdie. Is Dramatis a band?
I guess so. Give me a Roxy Music feel.
Yeah, I hear what you mean. Really like that album name. I Assassin. A lot more of this in here than I expected.
Yeah.
Yeah, this kind of funky loungy stuff,
Yeah.
right? It's not what I expected at all.
I'm hearing so many things that I recognize from other acts of the era. Like, he clearly was right in there like a dirty shirt,
Yeah,
had his
yeah.
finger on the pulse,
Yeah,
and we missed all of it.
yeah, we did. And it's understandable why I missed it. I'll say, I'll just pause it so I don't talk over it too much. It's understandable why I missed it, because at the time I was that 19? This one it said like 1981, 1982?
Somewhere in there, yeah.
Okay.
You were
so-
still single digits.
Yeah, I was like 9, right? And I don't know if I think really hard, what was I listening to back then? Oh, okay. So Michael Jackson, because everybody was listening to Michael Jackson. Weird Al Yankovic, because he was really huge in my house. But also, I could not stop listening to my cassette of Gem and the Holograms. Songs from the television show. Not even joking. Totally.
And you know what? I think most of those things you mentioned might even have been a little later than this.
It's possible.
So you'd have been even younger and listening to even more, whatever your parents had, whatever's on the radio.
God knows what else I was listening to at that time. I was a big fan of Crocodile Rock.
Oh, yeah. Good one.
Yeah.
Love you, Alton.
So I can be forgiven for having...
But, well, even me, I got into Ultravox and stuff and got back into stuff from this vintage, but not until a few years later.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it wasn't until, I guess, Dancing with Tears in My Eyes came out, and I started hearing that on the radio, alternative radio. And then I got back into Vienna and stuff when my uncle loaned me a cassette.
Yeah.
And I'm back around more this era.
Yeah, but like nobody in my... At that time, I was young enough. The only things I was listening to, if it wasn't actually just on the radio, whatever the top 10 was, like my parents never stopped listening to Casey Kasem's top 40, right? So like if it wasn't on there, it didn't get heard in my house because my parents were in control of the television and the radio. There was like 5 channels of TV, Much Music. Were they even around yet?
No, MTV didn't even launch until 40 years ago, 1981, and Much Music came later in our country.
Yeah. So, right, like Gary Numan flew way under my radar completely. Yeah,
well, that's the thing. Like, he big splash on the AM radio over here with Cars,
and then that was it.
And then, like, never heard of him again.
Yeah, I don't know if it was just the Canadian content filters. They just said, "Oh, we're not going to waste any."
I was 8 when Cars came out. I wasn't going out buying albums. I wasn't listening to alternative FM radio. I had no clue, right?
Yeah.
So.
All right, so let's get back to it.
I'm digging this Paul Youngish bass line.
You like that, eh? There's like multiple versions of him, some over here, some over there. That's a Guggenheim?
You're asking the wrong guy.
It's a nice car. I can't believe we're still only in 1983.
Right? It's been a lot of albums, a lot of songs.
Yeah. I feel deeply ashamed for how much I missed. You're gonna have to tell me if you know what kind of airplane this is.
Help me, Harold. You're my only hope.
down. No control somehow. No help.
It's definitely 50s vintage.
No.
I don't know what model it is.
My baby is
I'm
on
disappointed.
it. No one comes near. Now I'm feeling strangers in there. Like cold and like cold and like cold and here in my life. For so long for you.
I hear echoes of this one in some of the newer stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's my album. This is a significant 80s vibe to it.
Oh yeah,
It's like Beverly Hills Cop kind of sound.
right. This is very 1984.
Not in the Orwell way.
Right.
Just chronology. Looks like he really likes planes, eh?
This song makes me think you can really hear the progression in the synthesizer technology over those 5 years.
I really like this one.
Yeah, it's kind of hypnotic. I like it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's got that darkness to it.
No more pictures. No more pictures.
Did she say no more bitches?
Peaches.
Oh, peaches?
I think so.
I don't need it. If you're gonna leave, then do it soon. I don't need it. Everything you've ever seen, I've seen before. Leave her to me.
Please, no more pictures.
Leave her to me. For now, now, now. I don't suppose you ever let me. Your fascination leaves me.
Voice sounds really familiar.
Is Sheena Easton?
Your fascination leaves
Sounds like her. We're gonna have to look it up.
I may have just made a fool of myself there, but
Called The Fury? We're gonna have to look that up. It sounded like her though, you're right. Okay, I'm gonna stop it for a second. Is it just me, or is this stuff with The Fury, right? Sounds a lot more mainstream for the time.
yeah, it really
Gary
does.
Numan had a very experimental sound.
Yeah, it was very
Right?
pioneering.
Yeah. But this this song and the one prior to it still has a lot of those experimental elements in it, but it does sound a lot more mainstream for that time. Am I right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not just me.
Poppier in some ways.
I can't believe I haven't heard of
for the time.
This band. Okay, let's go. Nice tucks.
One more time for you to call up the dogs. Passengers with a ticket to burn. You will fly. Oh, I'm still waiting for you, you know. Oh, a slogan, an old story, under the seas, never again. Look at me, I'm shaking. I don't know if I can move.
Got moves, man. A little bit of Elvis Presley in that.
Right?
Just a little distracting. Another new band.
No, it's album titles.
Oh. Okay. I did know that. I just lost my mind for a minute. Okay.
A new thing from London town. Oh, atmosphere in music ground. Color slashed across the face. Plastic hand in hand with light. Grey mist to still the night. Sliding through the colored light. Hairs glide along the street. Rendezvous with marching feet. And you think from London town. You think from London town.
Another airplane.
I've been there and seen it. I've been up and down. And I've been fighting for some time now. I can't stop for your stories. And I can't stop for your
I want her dress.
been up on the power, been down and ashamed. I'm sure I'm guilty of something now. I can't stop for all your stories. And I can't stop for all
Those backing vocals are very of the time, eh?
Big time. I was just thinking that too.
Oh my.
Nice dress.
I lose myself in the night, walking the streets in the rain. I turn away from the light,
I really like this one.
Yeah, it's good.
shadows again.
Yeah, he was kind of losing me as we got into the mid-'80s stuff more, but this is definitely an upturn. And it's not just the blonde.
He doesn't even like blondes. Oh, I like that. I really liked that one. Oh, we've skipped a lot of years
4
now.
years.
Yeah. Okay, so we're a little bit more than halfway through, and I have to honestly say, I don't know about you, but other than the very first song, I haven't heard a single one of these.
No, me neither.
Huh, okay, so.
And I thought this was an 18-minute video, and it's 41 minutes. I must have got the wrong one. That's okay. It's just more Gary.
Oh, we got the wrong one?
Maybe.
I clicked on the link that was in the comment.
Okay. I must have looked at the wrong one when I saw it was 18.
Indeed.
All right.
That's okay.
That is okay. We're loving the Gary.
Well, that was a lot of years to cover.
The number of albums he had in like 8 years from 79 to 87 was huge. Was that Gary Numan, the cocaine years or something?
What?
Like, put out so many albums, maybe it was cocaine. I don't know. I know nothing about Gary Numan or drugs. Just speculating. That would make you put out a lot of albums.
Yeah, but they probably wouldn't be any good. Okay, I'm gonna pause. This was 1991?
No, this was 2001. We jumped ahead.
Oh, okay. So, significant difference already. First of all, I was gonna comment before, but all those previous ones, his aesthetic was very kind of dapper. It was all tuxedos or really sharp, like well-tailored suits.
Yep.
Right, very clean-cut looking.
Yep.
It had a, I mean, I don't know if this is going to be insulting to him, but it's not meant to be insulting, but had a very kind of Talking Heads kind of feel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the tie right up
cut.
here and the clean cut hair, and it was a thing back then.
Yeah,
that was
absolutely.
a big thing.
Yep.
But it always rung in my head a little bit about how much of a departure it is from the newer stuff that we've come across, where like all he's wearing is rags.
Looks post-apocalyptic every time.
Indeed, right?
Yeah.
It's quite a change. But the sound of the newer stuff morphed a lot the same way as aesthetic did, where it turned into a bit of a post-apocalyptic kind of sound too. And I'm starting to hear it right here, right? Like his look is quite a bit different, and I can hear that fuzzy
Darker sound
and the darker sound. Yeah, I'm excited now. So whatever happened in the years in between there?
He time traveled to the future?
Sounds like maybe. A very 9 Inch Nails sound to it,
Yeah.
eh?
Are you witnessing the birth of the Gary you know and love?
I want to hear more of this song. Oh.
Ugh.
Oh. menacing atmosphere of this one. Totally my jam now. I'm currently right now reliving all of my industrial nightclub dreams, right? Like all those, I think it was around these years, right? What year did
I
we
think this said 2003.
2003? Oh, that's a little late for my clubbing days. But, oh, my favorite nightclubs were always the industrial nightclubs, and I loved just completely trashing the floor to stuff like this where it had this kind of electric sound, right? And it was completely chaotic inside.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm loving it. Okay, sorry to interrupt. I think I might have actually heard that one before in the nightclub.
Yeah, I liked that one a lot.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we did this one. We've done this one already. Remember? The dude with the wings.
Oh, yeah.
I really like this one.
Would you hang it in a box? See how it plays for you. I would watch you take your life and tear it apart. Put your pain in a box. I'll send them back to you. What have you become? A shadow of man. You fall like the rain on the crying. Cold and alone, like your victory lying.
Oh.
That industrial enough for you?
Oh, yeah.
We were dust in a world of grim obsession. We were torn from our life of isolation. We were pulled from our path of least resistance. And the song we sang, what became of us? We're here waiting for you. We're here waiting for you.
So this one, it says the album is Songs from a Broken Mind. Am I right about that?
Yeah, so that's Splinter.
So I'd read and seen mentions of some interviews where he did that around this time he had some struggles with depression.
See?
Right? So you can hear that in here, right? Like a lot. You can hear the kind of mental war going on, right? Like when you fight with your demons, this is exactly what I expected to sound like. Oh, really good, yeah. I want this whole album.
Very tall hat.
But there's a rabbit in there.
Everything blazes.
Sound like I Am Ruined too?
Yeah, I can hear the similarities.
Like I said. So the last one was Songs from a Broken Mind. This says Songs from a Broken World.
Yeah.
Cool, right?
Yep. Definitely.
I'm glad I caught that actually because it actually makes it cooler. Anyway, we know this one. If you don't know how we know it, go back. We've done this one already.
Actually, did we do this one before Intruder? Was this our first one? Might have been.
Might have been, yeah.
My name is Ruben. My name is Vengeance. My name is no one. No one is calling. My name is Ruben. My name is Heartbreak. My name is Lonely. My sorrows and darkness. My
And
name is
his daughter is cute as a button.
My name is Ava. My name's a wolf song. I sing you and you.
played this one so many times. It's my favorite one.
I'm not a hero story. I'm not a traitor's lie. I'm not everything they said. I'm not here to save you. I'm not your confessor. My sins alone could wake the dead. But do you understand? Nothing can make it better. Nothing can make it go away. And do you understand that we are lost to ruin? And this will be your end of days. And when the sun will down, and when the moon fell to rise, and when the world came apart, well, yeah, were you with me? Or when my life burns out, or when my fire
I love the sound of this song.
or when my breath is the wind, when will you be? Dear God,
I love this one too.
I could listen to more lies about promises you kept. Where you walk on water, like you said you would. Or I can make you my prisoner, but you a dead man talking. When you find the oceans, like you said you would.
This is so amazing.
You can beg for God's mercy and pretend that He hates you, but then you wish and just listen. You can drown in your sorrow and pretend you are helpless, but then you wish and just listen. This is always your one life. I won't pretend that it matters, but don't you wish and just listen. This is always your one home. I won't pretend that I'll miss you, but don't you wish and just listen.
Forgot how much I like this video too.
So what is it? What does it say for Gary Numan? And how big a compliment is it that our favorite songs are off of albums he did 38 and 42 years after he first came in?
I don't know. The question is, would he appreciate that we didn't? I mean, he was a firebrand, right? Like he was a pioneer
Yes.
in this space, right? You gotta have some, even if you didn't like those songs, I suppose you have to have some appreciation for the influence that he would have had on the.
Absolutely. But I mean, how big a compliment is it when, at least us, and I presume we're not alone, believe that the stuff you're doing, like 40 years after you hit, stands with the very best of what you you do.
Okay,
right?
absolutely, yeah. I know what you mean.
Like who does that? Who's that good that far in?
There's a few artists right out there that have persisted this long, but you always kind of get the feeling for some of them where they're just kind of acting like placeholders for their old glory, right?
Yeah, it's
but
very
this is
rare.
Not that
no,
at all.
No,
right?
and when you look at this video, you can kind of see it's like Gary Numan, a tale in two acts, right? Like there's the first stuff, and then like by 1991, played out or done, right?
Yeah.
and the 10-year gap, and then there's 21st century Gary Numan.
So different, right?
And we liked almost all of that. At least I did.
Yeah.
And if anything, it's gotten stronger.
Yeah, I think
over the last 20 years, right?
I mean, part of the thing is like the older stuff. I understand the impact it had. I understand that the talent it required, but it just was never. It always kind of left me cold. The sound of it, just generally, it was not the kind of music that I listened to. I still, even hearing it now, don't appreciate it nearly as much as the newer stuff, just because for my ear, I really like the dark industrial sound that he has now, less so than the more kind of experimental, right? But I'm not a big fan of overly experimental music to start with, so it's always an uphill climb for me.
I did enjoy the stuff that was off Pleasure Principle from 1979, and I think I'm probably on Spotify one day. We'll just pull up that album and listen to the whole thing. Yeah, I really enjoyed that, like that 79 through to 81. So I liked all that quite a bit. And some of it sounds pretty dated, but it was pioneering at the time, and I pick up a lot of.
There's a lot of stuff that is dated in that sound vein that you like a lot.
Yeah, so I grew up with it, and I've liked it for 40 years, right? Kind of after that point, like by 82 or so, it started to really fall off for me.
So this is the way I see the transition, kind of, right? And I think it was interesting. And I don't think I would have picked up on it except for this video. So thank you so much again for making this video, because it actually made quite a few things vividly clear that I might have never caught on to. But when you see the progression like that, so you have Gary Numan sort of mirrors the world in general, right? Because the beginning, you had it sort of like it was very experimental, and his look and the sound was very experimental, right? And it was all the way things were in the space at the time, right? And then you have the stuff in the 80s, right? That it was all very polished.
But did it feel a little bloated to you?
Bloated?
Yeah. Just
like overly manufactured?
Too much stuff going on.
That's what I mean by polished, right? So, because the 80s, just about everywhere you looked, everything anybody did, you talk about movies, you talk about music, you talk about celebrities, it was big hair, big jewels,
gleaming,
right? Everything was glittery, right? Everything was kind of shiny. You had everybody wearing PVC, and you know what I mean? Like, it had this gloss to it. The 80s had a very distinct gloss to it. The 70s was sparkle, 80s was gloss, right? But
sparkle or dirt, depending on whether it was like. Well, look at like the movies from the 70s and stuff. A lot of them were very grimy and pessimistic. But then you had disco. Yeah. Right. So it was kind of two extremes.
Yeah. But so his stuff morphed into that kind of glossy. Not so much because it wasn't so much like the mainstream stuff glossy, but it still had that glossy feel to it. The videos were all kind of the soft focus, and everybody was all dressed up really clean cut, right? And even the sound had a bit of that polish to it, right? And then you have this break, and in between, that's when we had things like grunge come in, and you had the sound and the look of everything kind of got grungier, and then it almost... Like, there's a lot of people that would argue right now that we're headed kind of into a civilizational decline. Right? Things are getting grittier, they're getting grimier, they're getting more dystopic by the day. And Gary's whole aesthetic, his whole theme, right?
And ahead of the curve.
Sound, has kind of followed that curve, or led it maybe even. It's hard to say. But I feel that way. So when the title of the album is like, a world that comes a broken world, right? I'm thinking he almost hit the money right there, right? Because his whole career is kind of followed, I don't know, sort of the way civilization is run.
Yeah, well, return to what I said earlier about him having a finger on the pulse. Yeah, maybe, right? Maybe that's what it is about Gary Numan. He sees what's going on. He sees what's coming.
Oh, there is so much going on up there. I can tell. Right, like he is a brilliant person, obviously, right? His talent is exceptional. Yep. Right, even the stuff that I don't appreciate just because I don't care for the sound of it, I can still appreciate the genius in it, right? Like he clearly knew what he was doing when it came to sound and the way it made you feel. Yep. Right?
Well, an image too, right?
Yeah.
Clearly a man who's made big decisions on his image, from day one, and then to switch it up.
Radical, right? Like those are radical changes. It's very risky to do that.
Yeah.
Right? And to be able to pull it off like that and still stay so very true to everything you are. Like maybe that kind of stuff mirrored what was going on inside, right? Like if we had those issues, for him to come back and it sounded angrier and grimier and just sort of
a little more war-torn.
Yeah, right? It kind of seemed like it fit. You could see it in his face. Somebody who's seen some things, right? It was really good, though. It was a great little trip.
Yeah, thanks for putting that together. Thanks for letting us know about it.
Yeah, I can't believe
nicely done too.
Know.
It wasn't jarring going from one snip to another. It was really well done.
Transition. Yeah, it was good.
High quality.
We clearly have missed a lot, though. But I'm glad to see that my original instincts that my favorite Gary Numan is the most recent couple of albums is still holds, because like I absolutely love that stuff.
Yeah,
I gotta tell you, all of those songs, I have played those so many times.
Me too.
Probably my top 10 on my Spotify list for sure.
Oh yeah.
Wow, that was really good.
It was nice to catch up. We missed a lot.
Thank you.
We did 40 years in 40 minutes.
Was it? It was morning coffee cat.
Something about breakfast and coffee and the
I'm
cat or
sorry,
something.
we said it at the beginning of the video.
It was a long time ago. That was a long video.
It really was. I'll put a link to the original video down there, and so you guys can go over and give him as much credit as he deserves, because that was really well done.
Sure.
And I'm really glad that we had the heads up on it. That was thoroughly enjoyable for me.
Absolutely.
So hopefully you all enjoyed that little retrospective as well, enough that you're going to want to say play it again. But first you got to put on your fanciest suit,
right?
Slick your hair back.
Yep, get that side part rocking.
Yep, exactly. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. You can find us on Twitter. We are at PlayItAgainMG. And thanks for coming out, guys.